All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Tanvi Taneja and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kosi Rail Mega Bridge in Bihar today through video conferencing. Lok Sabha passes 2 agriculture reform bills aimed at bringing revolutionary changes in the life of farmers. Prime Minister welcomes passage of farm bills in lower house, says opposition parties trying to confuse farmers. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar given additional charge of Food Processing Industries Ministry following resignation of Harsimrat Kaur Badal. COVID-19 recovery rate improved to 78.64% and Health Minister Harshvardhan says Corona vaccine will be available by early next year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate the Kosi Rail Mahasetu mega bridge to the nation through video conferencing today. He will also inaugurate 12 rail projects related to passenger facilities to benefit the people of Bihar. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar will also be present on the occasion. The 1.9 kilometer long Kosi mega bridge has been completed at a total cost of 516 crore rupees. With the construction of the bridge, the rail distance between Nirmali and Saraigarh would come down from the present 298 kilometers to 22 kilometers. The project was completed during the COVID pandemic where the migrant labor also participated. The dedication of this project will fulfill the 86-year-old dream and the long wait of the people of the region. During the heavy flood and severe Indo-Nepal earthquake in 1934, the rail link was washed away and thereafter, due to the meandering nature of River Kosi, no attempt was made to restore this rail link for a long period of time. The bridge has connected Mithila and Kosi region. This bridge is of strategic importance along the Indo-Nepal border. It will also make it easy for long-distance travel to Kolkata, Delhi and Mumbai for people of the region. The Prime Minister will also flag off a DEMU train from Supol railway station on Saharsa-Adampur-Kupaha section. Among the 12 other projects to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister are 2 new railway lines, 5 electrification projects, 1 electric locomotive shed and 3rd line project between Bard and Bakhtiarpur. The 2 new railway lines are the Hajipur-Ghoswar-Vaishali section as well as Islampur-Nateshwar section and Karnauti-Bakhtiarpur bypass rail line between Bard and Bakhtiarpur. The railway electrification projects include Muzaffarpur-Sitamarhi sections, Katihar-New Jalpaiguri, Samastipur-Khagadia, Bhagalpur-Shivnarayanpur and Samastipur-Jayanagar sections. The Lok Sabha has passed the Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020 with voice vote. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar had moved 2 farm sector legislations in the Lok Sabha yesterday. The 2 bills, Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020 will replace the synonymous ordinances promulgated on 5th of June this year. Terming the bills as historic, Mr. Tomar said they will bring revolutionary changes in the lives of farmers in the country.
संपूर्ण देश के किसानों को यह बहुत जिम्मेवारी के साथ कहना चाहता हूं कि देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी के रहते हुए न तो कभी गांव गरीब किसान का आयत हुआ है और न ही आने वाले कल में होगा। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो कृषक उपज व्यापार और वाणिज्य विधेयक और कीमत आश्वासन का विधेयक दोनों लाए गए हैं, ये दोनों विधेयक किसान के जीवन में एक क्रांतिकारी बदलाव लाने वाले विधेयक हैं।
Mr. Tomar said the bill seeks to give independence to farmers in terms of selling their produce. The minister asserted that the new legislation seeks to free the farmers from the clutches of mandis and farm produce markets. Allaying the apprehensions of few members over the bill, Mr. Tomar clarified that the bills will not dilute the APMC Act in any way. He said the minimum support price MSP for farm produce will continue to remain in force and the bill will additionally fortify the farmers to reach out to interstate markets. The bill facilitates increase in availability of buyers for farmers' produce by allowing them to trade freely without any license or stock limit. The increase in competition will result in better prices for farmers. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the passing of the two farm-related bills in the Lok Sabha as historic. He said, the agrarian reform bills are of utmost importance for the farmers and agriculture sector of the country. The Prime Minister said the Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020 will truly free the farmers from middlemen and all obstacles. He said that these agrarian reforms will provide new opportunities to farmers to sell their produce, which will increase their profits. Mr. Modi asserted that these legislations will empower farmers in the country and will ensure that they get the benefit of modern technology. He said that various powers are engaged in confusing the farmers regarding the provisions of the new legislation. Mr. Modi assured the farmers that the system of MSP and government procurement will continue as before. He exhorted that these bills will additionally fortify the farmers by giving them many more options. President Ramnath Kovind has accepted the resignation of Harsimrat Kaur Badal from the Union Council of Ministers. A press communique issued by Rashtrapati Bhavan said, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has been assigned the charge of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries in addition to his existing portfolios.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that India is committed to resolve the current border issue with China through a fair and peaceful manner, and at the same time the country is also prepared to deal with all contingencies. He said China is trying to change the status quo at the Line of Actual Control (LAC), which is unacceptable to India at any condition. The Defence Minister was making a statement in the Rajya Sabha on development on the border in Ladakh region.
एक ओर किसी को भी हमारी सीमा की सुरक्षा के प्रति हमारे दृढ़ निश्चय या डिटर्मिनेशन के बारे में संदेह नहीं होना चाहिए। वहीं भारत यह भी मानता है कि पड़ोसियों के साथ शांतिपूर्ण संबंधों के लिए आपसी सम्मान और संवेदनशीलता भी यह रखना आवश्यक है।
Mr. Singh said the current situation is very different both in terms of scale of troops involved and the number of friction points. He said the conduct of Indian forces throughout the standoff shows that while they maintained patience in face of provocative actions, they also equally displayed valor when required to protect territorial integrity of the country.
चीन द्वारा एक बहुत ही वायलेंट फेस आउट की स्थिति 15 जून को गलवान में क्रिएट की गई। हमारे बहादुर सिपाहियों ने अपनी जान का बलिदान दिया, पर साथ ही चीनी पक्ष को भी भारी क्षति पहुंचाई है और अपनी सीमा की सुरक्षा में कामयाब भी रहे। इस पूरी अवधि के दौरान हमारे बहादुर जवानों ने जहां संयम की जरूरत थी वहां संयम रखा और जहां शौर्य की जरूरत थी वहां शौर्य का भी प्रदर्शन किया। मैं सदन से यह अनुरोध करता हूं कि हमारे सैनिकों की वीरता एवं बहादुरी की भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा की जानी चाहिए। हमारे बहादुर जवान अत्यंत मुश्किल परिस्थितियों में अपने अथक प्रयास से समस्त देशवासियों को सुरक्षित रखने के अपने दायित्व का निर्वहन कर रहे हैं।
The Chief of Army Staff, General M.M. Naravane, arrived in Srinagar yesterday on a two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir. Soon after his arrival, he proceeded to undertake a first-hand assessment of the situation along the Line of Control (LOC) in North Kashmir. During his interaction with the soldiers deployed in high-altitude areas, the Army Chief appreciated their high morale and complimented them on their response to Pakistan's ceasefire violations. General Naravane also commended the use of technology to ensure effective day and night surveillance across the LOC, which has resulted in many successful operations to foil infiltration bids from POJK in the recent past. The Army Chief reinforced the need to extend all possible support to civilians residing in border areas who are victims of targeted ceasefire violations by the Pakistani Army and are facing hardships due to the pandemic. General Naravane also interacted with commanders and troops deployed in the hinterland. While interacting with Jawans, he highlighted that it was a dawn of a new era of development, peace and prosperity in Kashmir and applauded them for their high level of morale and contribution to peace building in Jammu and Kashmir.
He appreciated the high level of coordination amongst all government agencies towards maintaining peace in the valley and efforts to reach out to the Awam to overcome the challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Later, General Naravane reviewed the overall security situation along with the Northern Army Commander and Chenab Corps Commander. He also called on Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and assured the wholehearted support of the army in ushering in peace and stability in the region. Employees State Insurance Corporation or ESIC has issued instructions for submission of claims by the affected workers to claim relief under recently expanded Atal Bimat Vyakti Kalyan Yojana. Under the scheme, relief is to be paid to those ESI members who lost their jobs. Claims to get the relief can be made online at the website www.esic.in along with submission of the physical claim with an affidavit, photocopy of the Aadhaar card and bank account details to the designated ESIC branch office by post or in person. ESIC under the chairmanship of Labour Minister Santosh Gangwar has taken the decision to extend the scheme of Atal Bimat Vyakti Kalyan Yojana from 1st of July 2020 to 30th June 2021. It has also been decided to enhance the rate of unemployment relief under the scheme to 50% of wages from earlier rate of 25% due to the COVID-19 pandemic and related lockdown. In our series on Seva Saptaha, today we bring you a special story on Swachh Bharat. In the last 6 years, the Narendra Modi government has laid a lot of emphasis on Clean India. The Swachh Bharat mission has focused on rural and urban areas separately and has played a crucial role in ensuring sanitation in the country. Since the launch of the mission in 2014, more than 10 crore individual toilets have been constructed across the country. As a result, rural areas in all the states have declared themselves Open Defecation Free ODF on 2nd of October last year. Inaugurating Rashtriya Swachhta Kendra in New Delhi last month, Mr. Modi said Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has brought about a behavioral change among the citizens.
स्वच्छ भारत अभियान से हमारी सामाजिक चेतना समाज के रूप में हमारे आचार व्यवहार में भी स्थायी परिवर्तन आया। बार बार हाथ धोना हो, हर कहीं थूकने से बचना हो, कचरे को सही जगह फेंकना हो, ये तमाम बातें सहज रूप से बड़ी तेजी से सामान्य भारतीय तक हम पहुंचा पाए हैं।
Our correspondent has filed this report.
The Swachh Bharat Mission Rural has moved towards its second phase, which is also called ODS+. This phase will continue till 2024-25. The Swachh Bharat Mission Urban has also made remarkable progress in the area of both sanitation and solid waste management. Over 4,324 urban local bodies have been declared ODF in the country so far. More than 66 lakh individual household toilets and over 6 lakh community and public toilets have also been constructed or are under construction. In the area of solid waste management, 96% of wards have 100% door-to-door collection, while 66% of the total waste generated is being processed. With Anupam Mishra, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
People from different walks of life shared their views on the occasion of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday yesterday.
मैंने उज्ज्वला गैस नहीं रहे, अब गैस दिलक, उकर से बहुत किसान के टाइम से खाना बनाते, उकर बादे में अपन छुआ पुता की स्कूल भेजत हैं।
मोदी जी ने हमारा भारत के लिए बहुत कुछ किया है, हमारा देश को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है।
Thanking the people for their birthday wishes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged everyone to continue wearing masks and follow social distancing norms in a bid to contain coronavirus. In a late-night tweet yesterday, the Prime Minister wrote, "Since many have asked what is it that he wants for his birthday, here is what he seeks right now. Keep wearing a mask and wear it properly. Follow social distancing. Remember 2 gaj ki duri. Avoid crowded spaces and improve your immunity." The Prime Minister, who turned 70 yesterday, said people from all walks of life and all over India and from all over the world have shared their kind wishes. He said he is grateful to each and every person who has greeted him. Mr. Modi said these greetings give him the strength to serve and work towards improving the lives of fellow citizens. The Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament from Karnataka, Ashok Gasti, passed away in a private hospital in Bengaluru. In a statement issued by Hospital Director Dr. Manish Rai, the 55-year-old leader passed away at 10:31 p.m. yesterday. He was diagnosed with severe COVID-19 pneumonia and critically ill with multi-organ failure when admitted to the hospital in Bengaluru on September 2nd. Ashok Gasti was the first-time MP who had taken oath as member of Rajya Sabha on July 22nd. A lawyer by profession and former General Secretary of the BJP, he had also served as chairperson of the Backward Class Development Corporation in Karnataka. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kosi Rail Mega Bridge in Bihar today through video conferencing. Lok Sabha passes 2 agriculture reform bills aimed at bringing revolutionary changes in the life of farmers. Prime Minister welcomes passage of farm bills in lower house, says opposition parties trying to confuse farmers. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar given additional charge of Food Processing Industries Ministry following resignation of Harsimrat Kaur Badal. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 78.64%. And Health Minister Harshvardhan says Corona vaccine will be available by early next year. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The government has said that the country's recovery rate among COVID-19 patients has reached 78.64%. During the last 24 hours, more than 82,000 COVID patients have recovered. The Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has reached over 40,25,000. The constantly increasing recoveries have ensured that the actual caseload of the country has reduced and currently comprises only 19.73% of the total positive cases. It said that active cases of COVID-19 in the country are less than 1/5 of the total cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 10,09,000. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.63%, which is one of the lowest globally. In the last 24 hours, 1,132 deaths have been reported, taking the toll to 83,198. According to the ICMR, the total number of samples tested so far has reached over 6.5 lakhs. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has expressed hope that COVID-19 vaccine would be available in the country by early next year. He informed that 3 vaccine candidates have reached the clinical trial stage of phase 1, 2 and 3.
भारत में हमारे जो कैंडिडेट वैक्सीन हैं उसमें 3 लगभग ऐसे हैं जो फेज 1, फेज 2 और फेज 3 के अंदर पहुंच गए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में एक एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप इस सारे विषय को भी बहुत गहराई से अध्ययन कर रहा है। हमारे को उम्मीद है कि अगले साल के शुरुआत के अंदर भारत के अंदर वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हो जानी चाहिए।
Dr. Harshvardhan appealed to people to adopt social distancing and 2 gaj ki duri as a social vaccine till the arrival of the vaccine. He was replying to a discussion in Rajya Sabha on COVID-19 pandemic situation in the country yesterday. He said India is working with the WHO and other international organizations in the direction of vaccine development. Appreciating the role of COVID warriors in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic, he said the Prime Minister has taken every decision with the help of experts and the government tried to resolve every issue related to this disease. He said India started the fight against COVID-19 disease from the initial days and fought this battle in an honest and meticulous manner. He added that effective contact tracing, surveillance mechanism and lockdown reduced the number of COVID-19 cases and mortality. Gujarat has reported a record 1,379 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The total number of cases in the state has gone up to 1,19,088. More from our correspondent.
With the recovery of 1,652 patients yesterday, the recovery rate has further improved and reached up to 83.81%. Total 99,808 patients have recovered in the state till now. More than 36,09,000 tests have been carried out in the state till date, out of which 85,820 tests were carried out yesterday. At present, total active cases in the state are 16,007, out of which 96 patients are on ventilator. 14 patients died yesterday, taking the total total deaths due to COVID-19 up to 3,273. Meanwhile, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has added 11 new areas in the micro-containment zone following detection of new cases. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Chhattisgarh, sero surveillance has started amidst increasing cases of corona infection. On the first day of the survey, the teams of ICMR collected samples from the people in Raipur, Durg and Rajnandgaon districts to examine antibodies in people. These samples are being taken from selected clusters as well as from persons belonging to high-risk groups such as immunocompromised individuals, hospital staff, police and migrant workers. This survey is being conducted to know the status of herd immunity in the people against coronavirus. The survey is being conducted by ICMR and the Health Department of Chhattisgarh. The survey will help in identifying people who may have contracted COVID-19 and have already recovered from the disease without realizing it. The report of sero-surveillance will also help in preparing a strategy to deal with corona infection in the state.
In Tamil Nadu, the COVID-19 recovery rate has reached nearly 89.5%. The total infection has gone up to 5,25,000, while the recoveries have surpassed 4.7 lakh. Chennai Corporation has initiated the process of dispersing the third round of the dole of 1,000 rupees each to the hawkers in the city. A report.
The active COVID-19 caseload in Tamil Nadu is almost stable for the past several weeks, and the latest count is put at 46,600. The daily average new cases are estimated to be around 5,500 for long, despite the Unlock 4 relaxations. The number of tests every day has exceeded 80,000. In Chennai, the daily infections have also come under 1,000. The case mortality rate remains 1.64%. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Odisha has been witnessing the addition of about 4,000 new COVID-19 cases daily. The total caseload rose to 1,67,161 yesterday. The state also witnessed a record 4,121 patients recovering from the infection on a single day yesterday, taking the total number of recoveries to 1,33,466. The state has an active caseload of 32,973, while 669 people have lost their lives due to the infection so far. Our correspondent has filed this report.
A day after Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik expressed displeasure over the mounting COVID-19 caseload, particularly in capital Bhubaneswar and the adjoining Cuttack municipal area, the police have intensified its enforcement drive in the Twin Cities. Coming down heavily on the protocol violators in these two cities, police have been impressing upon the people not to lower their guards on social distancing, face masking and other sanitization measures. It begs a mention here that while the capital city of Bhubaneswar alone has already contributed more than 20,000 cases to the total caseload of about 29,000 in Khordha district, the Cuttack municipal area accounts for more than 5,000 cases from out of about 14,000 cases reported from Cuttack district so far. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
In a unique step towards eliminating malnourishment among children, Uttar Pradesh government has decided to give cows to the families with malnourished children to ensure availability of milk to them. The step taken under Poshan Abhiyan will help in bringing down the level of malnourishment among children and women in the state. More from our correspondent.
State government has decided to give cattle from its cow shelters in the state under the Chief Minister Destitute Cow Participation Scheme to the families which have malnourished children or women, as cow milk will be extremely useful in removing malnutrition. As per the order issued to all district magistrates of the state by Bhuvanesh Kumar, Principal Secretary, Animal Husbandry Department, the cows will be given to the families who are willing to keep them and also have available space for them. As far as possible, the cow would be handed over to the family in the presence of a public representative. An amount of 30 rupees per day will also be given through DBT to the family for taking care of the cow. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Speaking to AIR News, Dr. Saurabh Mehrotra, consultant at the Mental Health Division in Medanta Hospital, emphasized that people should indulge in positive addictions such as reading books, music activities and exercise. He said special care should be taken not to overexpose oneself to excessive COVID-related news, which can lead to anxiety-related issues.
हम अपने आप को पॉजिटिव एडिक्शंस में एंगेज करें, जैसे राइटिंग, रीडिंग, क्रिएटिव आर्ट्स सच एज ड्राइंग, पेंटिंग, गार्डनिंग, इस तरीके की चीजें, दीज ऑल क्वालिफाई एज पॉजिटिव एडिक्शन. म्यूजिक, ये सब पॉजिटिव एडिक्शंस हैं. ये स्ट्रेस रिड्यूस करने में हमारा बहुत मदद करते हैं. हम सोशली कनेक्टेड रहें एक दूसरे से, टेलीफोन कॉन्वर्सेशन करें, बात करें लोगों से.
Talking to AIR News, Dr. Neeraj Nischal from the All India Institute of Medical Science, AIIMS, New Delhi said that self-isolation is a key factor to stop the spread of COVID-19 and that wearing masks can also play a vital role in this regard.
हमें स्पेशल सावधानी रखने की जरूरत है. घर में जो भी वल्नरेबल लोग हैं, यानी कि अगर घर में कोई एल्डरली है, कोई ऐसा है जिसको कोई पहले से कोई बीमारी हो, ऐसे लोगों को डेफिनेटली उस घर से अगर आप दूसरी जगह रख सकते हैं तो बहुत ही अच्छा है. अदरवाइज ये इंश्योर करना है कि जो भी इन्फेक्टेड आदमी है वो उन लोगों से दूर रहे. कोई भी चीज, किसी भी तरह का इंटरेक्शन, कोई भी सामान शेयरिंग नहीं होना चाहिए. घर में आप पेशेंट को भी मास्क पहन के रहना पड़ेगा, ताकि कोई भी अगर बाई चांस गलती से भी कोई इंटरेक्शन हो तो पॉसिबिलिटी इन्फेक्शन एक दूसरे को मिलने की पॉसिबिलिटी कम है.
Odisha has sought a financial support of about 1,100 crore rupees from the centre due to the damages caused by the recent floods in the state. It followed the detailed discussion between the visiting central team and the state administration led by the Chief Secretary in Bhubaneswar yesterday. The central team visited several flood-affected districts for the past 2 days before meeting the top officials in the capital. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was recorded at 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 36 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, the temperature will hover between 12 and 30 degrees Celsius. The city is likely to have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Ladakh will also have mainly clear sky. The temperature may hover between 12 and 28 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature was 15 degrees and the maximum will be 29 degrees Celsius. The city will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Muzaffarabad is also likely to have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 18 and the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees Celsius. National capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature recorded in the city was 28 and the maximum will be around 38 degrees. In Mumbai, there will be generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature is likely to hover between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. Chennai is likely to witness generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata may have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature was 28 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is likely to be 33 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's statement in the Rajya Sabha on the situation in Ladakh gets highlighted across newspapers. China's words and actions don't match. No power can stop Indian soldiers from patrolling at LAC, says Rajnath, headlines the Indian Express. The Asian Age reports, women, kids along Uttarakhand border villages told to move to safer areas, a first since 1962 war. Union Food Processing Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badel's resignation from the cabinet over farm bills also gets wide coverage. Around 6.6 million white-collar professionals lost their jobs during lockdown from May to August, reports the Asian Age, adding, engineers, teachers amongst the worst hit. And finally, quoting an Oxfam report, the Pioneer writes, rich nations with just 13% global population have already bought more than half of the promised doses of future COVID-19 vaccines.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kosi Rail Mega Bridge in Bihar today through video conferencing. Lok Sabha passes 2 agriculture reform bills aimed at bringing revolutionary changes in the lives of farmers. Prime Minister welcomes passage of farm bills in lower house, says opposition parties trying to confuse farmers. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar given additional charge of Food Processing Industries Ministry following resignation of Harsimrat Kaur Badal. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 78.64% and Health Minister Harsh Vardhan says Corona vaccine will be available by early next year. For details of these stories and more, you can log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.